Hello, this is Robert Anderson with Anglers Habitat in Caldwell, Idaho. This is the last week of January, and for this week's product review, I'm going to be talking about something, well, kind of like this, but it's the reel-on rod tube, and I'm going to make a couple points here, so hopefully you'll learn something. Everybody has these. I mean, rod tubes, here's a stage one. You buy a rod, it comes with a tube. It basically protects it, usually metal or PVC with a door on it. Great way to ship a rod, to carry a rod in a suitcase. Not a great way to carry your rod when you're going fishing, especially in a four-piece rod. Back 20 years ago, even 25 years ago when I was first getting into the industry in '89, this was, the two-piece rods were the standard. These days, the four-piece rods are, 90% of the rods out there, 95% of the rods out there are four-piece rods. And it's just such a pain to get out on the river and have to take the rod out of the sleeve, take it out, stick it all together. So what I started doing is I put these, wrap them in paper, protect them, because you know what? When you sell your rod, resale value, if the rod tube is in good condition, it's important. It adds some to the value of the rod. So I always protect those. But what I do is for fishing purposes, I use reel-on rod tubes. Nothing new here. Reel-on rod tubes have been around for a while. You can buy them at, you name it. They're everywhere. They range in prices. Usually you'll see them anywhere from $50 to $80. There's definitely a number of different brands out there. One we just started carrying is Redington. Redington, if you're not familiar with Redington, Redington is a company that is owned by Sage. It's basically their lower price point rods and reels and waders and so on and so forth. These rod tubes I really like. They're a beautiful, well-made rod tube. It has a YKK zipper, which is critical because zippers on these things, as you know, zippers go pretty quickly. The thing that I love about this, the four-piece, I don't know, I really don't get this personally. I guess if you want to have it, but for me, the whole idea of a reel-on rod tube is that it makes it quick and easy to put together your rod. So if you're traveling, I guess, and you want to be able to carry the reel on the rod and a four-piece rod, this works. But for me, what I absolutely love is this right here. I have literally 3 of these at home. One of them now is Redington, the newest one I bought. A couple of old DB Duns that aren't even made anymore. But what I love about them, as you can see, is I keep my rods in here. Now, the way they're designed is most of these reel-on rod tubes have 2 sleeves, of course, for your 2 sections of your rod. Four-piece rod, you just keep keep it into 2 sections instead of 4. You've got a sleeve to separate the 2 so they don't rub up against each other. Here's a nice little Winston rod. But the thing I love about it is I keep my line and my fly and my leader and everything all on this ready to roll. So when I get to a river, remember, it's all about fishing for me. Being time on the water, not time getting ready to get on the water. Matter of fact, the longest time, the time that seems like it takes forever, especially when you're waiting for your friend to get ready, is when you're at the spot. When I'm over at the river and there's a hatch coming off and there's fish starting to just start to rise, and I've got to get on my waders and my wading boots. Great reason to wear the corkers. The corkers are so fast, the boa system, but that's a different story. But so I got to get those on. That takes a little bit of time. But then to have to take out a 4-piece rod out of a tube, unscrew it, put all the pieces together, line up the pieces, put on my reel, tighten down the reel, take the line, double it over, start sticking it through all my guides, pull it tight, make sure I got all the guides, take the fly box out, take a fly, start to tie my fly on. I usually have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to use because most rivers, during this, especially the summer and fall, I am out usually, or try to get out every day, at least every other day. So what I do is I leave my rod already rigged with the fly that I was using the night before. Here's a nice little size 22 trico spinner. Caught 19 fish on this fly up on the Owyhee River. But I will literally take this, have it ready to roll. So when I get to my spot, I throw my waders on, throw my boots on, unzip this, slide out my rod, put the 2 pieces together, strip off some line, walk over there, and I'm ready to start casting, start fishing. And so the hardest thing is, especially when I have a friend go with me who is very, very slow at putting it all together, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll be down in the water, come on down when you're done. And a lot of times, I will already have landed 2 fish by the time I get down there rigged and ready to roll. So there again, time on the water, there's almost, time is precious, absolutely precious. And when I was younger, I used to be able to go fishing any day, all day, spend hours and hours out on the river. It was wonderful. Now that I'm married with children and jobs and everything else, time is a precious commodity. So if I can save 10 minutes and get on that water that much faster and have 10 more minutes on the water fishing, to me, that is a great idea. With this, I really like the double. The reason I like this is because most every place I fish a lot of evenings, especially for brown trout, and I will have my 4-weight or my 3-weight. I'm a big fan of a 3-weight with my little tiny dry flies. I'll be fishing the evening spinner fall, and then as soon as it starts to get dark enough where I can't see, to take my 6X tippet through my size 24 fly, it's time to put away that rod, and I rock over shore, unzip it, slide that one back in, slide my 6-weight out or my 5-weight out. I usually fish a 6-weight in the evening, and I'll fish like a big old mouse fly or a big old streamer. Oregon, a lot of times you can fish, the rule is you can fish not half hour after sunset. So I'll fish that last half hour throwing those big flies. And with this, where I can just slide out the other rod, have it all rigged, have my fly already on there, stick it together and get casting, it's just more time on the water, less time prepping. This reel on rod tube, there again, really nicely made. It's got a handle. You can loosen it up, use it as a shoulder strap. Like I told you, the YKK zipper, built to last. For the double, whether you go with the 4-piece or the 2-piece, it's the same price. It's $44.95. And then the single, whether they're again a 4-piece or 2-piece single, it is $34.95. So really an incredible deal, because for under 45 bucks for a double reel on rod tube, great deal. Redington, check it out, you'll love it. If you have any questions or problems or just want to talk, matter of fact, if you have any suggestions for something you want me to review or discuss, please give us a call. You can reach us at Anglers Habitat at 208-454-8188. Have a great day. God bless and tight lines. Bye.